there's been this, thought going around that design is dead. And this is happening to functions everywhere, all over the place with AI right now. It's like, oh, you no longer need product management. You no longer need engineers. You no longer need lawyers. You no longer need designers. SaaS is dead. Everything is dead. And so we're hearing these headlines just sort of like blasted in front of us 24/7. And so can you talk a little bit about this moment for designers, what your sort of take on this moment is? And then I want to talk about how I think this was really genius that Figma launched these
Good
hats
working.
to just kind of just like be like, hey, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Like, it's not dead. And we're going to take a stance and we're going to just make fun of it in this moment while everybody's coming together for this big, huge community event. So yeah, I'd love to hear your take first and then, sort of the community aspect there.
Yeah. Also, I'm jealous you got one of those hats. Like, I haven't been able to get my hands on them. They're like
Wow. Okay, I'll
reselling
have
on
to tell Brian.
eBay. It's
What? On
crazy.
resale
eBay?
on
Yeah,
eBay?
reselling on
Wow.
eBay. But
Wow.
that
And
was
here my toddler has been just like,
wearing it around the
wearing this
house.
thing around the house. I had no idea.
I love that we did that. I think like the last 6 months have been really interesting because it's like every week this sort of cycle of like we're so dead, and then the next week it's like we're so back.
We're
And
so not.
yeah, it's like it's really exhausting to be in that cycle.
Totally.
And I think like we just haven't seen in anything at Figma that like people aren't using Figma. It's still valuable as part of their process. The ability to like bring a bunch of people in and go really broad with your ideas and have like a way to, really brainstorm like as a group and then like visually tweak at like the pixel level is still important. And I think it's just hard because I think there's like all these efficiencies with AI, and writing code is fairly cheap now, and like it's not necessarily good code, but like you can get somewhere fast. And so I think then like the last 20% of like really dialing in on the craft and also bringing something unique, not just having like whatever AI generated as your final design of your website or whatever it is becoming more and more important. And so yeah, I definitely like don't think design's dead. I think that it's like more alive than ever. And with this like, craziness of, everything and like hype of AI and generation, I think being someone who has like taste as much as that word is now loaded to, but like has context and has like depth in specific things, whether it's like art or different types of visual mediums or music or whatever, to know what to ask for is super valuable. And AI is just a tool to get you to where you want to go faster. And I feel like we heard that a lot from our community this week, that Config in itself felt like a celebration of like artisanal craft. And I think that's so important. Like humans should be in this process. We should be driving this process. And so, yeah, I hope that answered your question, but like it's definitely not dead. And I think that if anything, like it's becoming more important now that it's so easy to create. It needs to be really differentiated and special.
Yeah. And I think there's been sort of this like resounding statement that like AI lowers the floor to start something, but humans are going to be the ones that are sort of raising the ceiling and making things possible and like pushing I guess just like pushing the community forward and the pushing culture forward in some ways, and sort of, thinking from context outside, not just like what you're giving it every day when you're talking to ChatGPT or something.